What's the big difference between like European soccer, Denmark to be specific, and just North American soccer?
The emphasis here more on like speed of play, possession. It's very technical in especially like a university setting. It's very much more about like your physicality, your athleticism, how fast you can run, how far, like, less possession oriented soccer, which sometimes can be not as pretty. I think for me, starting out my career, I didn't want to be anywhere that the level was like crazy high and I wouldn't be getting any playing time. But also on the flip side, I didn't want to be anywhere where I wasn't developing.
How can they best prepare for that difference?
A lot of my coaches when I was growing up were really emphasizing like playing on limited touches. Like if you don't need to take 4 or 5 touches and go on a dribble, don't. Like play one touch, play two touch. That is so much harder for defenders to defend. And I found that even playing in college, even if I had more time, if I could play quickly, like, and then, yeah, just sort of vision and awareness. Like, coaches are always talking about checking your shoulder, but really like check your shoulder and know what's coming, and as much information as you can gather from what's around you, even if you're not under pressure, will prepare you for when you are in situations where you're playing pro and there's 30-year-old experienced defenders trying to take the ball from you.
For somebody that's playing university right now, wanting to go
Mhm.
pro, when should they start looking into this?
For me, it mostly happened, all the interactions I had with this club happened in January, and I graduated in mid-December. So that was definitely an after college thing. I think you just have to be patient and trust that the offers are going to come. Definitely stressful when you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But worst case, you then wait until the next window. And I know tons of people that have done that, and they don't really care about what you did in college. Like if you're an All-American and a team in Denmark sees that, they're kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. They value the experience of being in Europe or being on a national team. So obviously that's hard to come by when you're starting out your career. So it's definitely the connections. And if they know someone, or even if they have someone on their team that has played with you before and they give a good report to the coach, that's huge. And that goes a long way. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be, in the national team and getting to every camp and getting the invites. And really, like, now I think I've moved past that, and I realize that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and all I can control is just how hard I train.
And the last question is a pretty general one, whether it's about soccer, whether it's about things outside of soccer. What advice would you have for young soccer players coming up?
There's no perfect timeline that you have to follow. You don't have to go to college in the US. You don't have to go play pro right out of college. I've seen so many players in and out of national teams, in like very young youth teams, and then not make the senior team. And you see the opposite, people not in any type of youth team, and then all of a sudden they're killing it on the senior teams. Don't stress out because you didn't make the camp or you didn't make the team, because there's going to be more opportunities that maybe are better.